We also have Babul Supriyo is joining us on the broadcast. Babul, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. It's a pleasure having you here. I'd like to understand, first of all, how do you see this move by Ajit Pawar joining the BJP Shinde alliance in Maharashtra?
Well, you see, I don't see it as a surprise at all, because BJP has already opened the doors for anyone who would want to make the BJP party bigger. So what is the only thing that is disturbing is the fact that, you know, after seeing that everyone from other parties, we know in Bengal as well, people who are charge sheeted in the Sharda case is now the leader of opposition from BJP. So we know that anyone who wants to get cleaned by joining BJP in the urge of BJP to have a opposition mukt Bharat, they are all welcome. So what happens to these ED cases? Nothing is going to happen to them. So that is what. So I don't think that the Honourable Prime Minister, more than anyone else, he completely loses the right to talk about Bhrashtachar Mukt and all of that, because this is the same party that he used to say nationally corrupt party. So आप उसमें से अगर देखेंगे, now you see the main leaders of that party have all joined the BJP, and this is not just this, whether it is horse trading in the other states to come into power. So that has been their modus operandi. So there is no element of surprise in this. There is no element of surprise in Ajit Pawar shifting loyalties. It is what is surprising is the party which said they move ahead with a certain what should I say, जो सही है वही करना चाहिए. You just see what is happening in the last few years.
So, Babul, you're pretty much saying what Sharad Pawar has also mentioned, like you mentioned what Prime Minister had said about the NCP just a few days ago, calling it the National Corrupt Party, and now inducting 9+1 of their MLAs into its party fold in Maharashtra. However, having said that, when you see what is going to be the status of opposition in the state of Maharashtra, especially the Mahavikas Aghadi, where do you see that future really come in?
Well, there is no denying the fact that unless Congress does something miraculous in Maharashtra, obviously BJP has succeeded in demolishing the opposition. I don't think there is much left in the Uddhav Thackeray faction. If there was, that's there. I don't know. The main leaders, I'm very surprised to see Prafulji sitting with Ajit Pawar, and so these are absolute surprises. But if you see from the BJP perspective, it is obviously what they want to do politically to their opponents. So I don't see the opposition doing much in terms of that fight. But there is, which is the biggest opposition? Let's get into that. The biggest opposition is what the public sees as a party that needs to be opposed. So I think that the kind of politics that BJP is doing all over the country, like some other party having the majority, but then doing this, taking this MLAs away from the party, forming this government, it has happened in so many states now. So that is something I'm sure the biggest country in terms of democracy is not going to like. So that now becomes the biggest opposition of the BJP. The trust of the people, the traitors just joining BJP and becoming clean mantris. I don't wish to name them. Yeah. But
interesting that you speak about Mr. Praful
entire
Patel.
Life in Bombay, and I know.
Yeah, but Babul, since you mentioned Mr. Praful Patel, he was recently sworn as one of the working presidents of the party by Sharad Pawar along with Supriya Sule. So I wanted to understand, what do you think was his role in this political coup that Ajit Pawar has managed to actually successfully go ahead and achieve? And I also wanted to understand, considering he was present very much at the oath-taking ceremony, the swearing-in ceremony that Ajit Pawar was part of, and also the press conference, do you think that Sharad Pawar was pretty much in the know of everything that was going on?
It's very hard to make any speculation on that. I won't be surprised. Like look what happened to Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray faction losing the symbol of the party. Yeah. I won't be surprised if what Ajit Pawar is saying about having the majority of NCP with him, if the same thing applies, what applied in terms of what the election commission thought in terms of the Shiv Sena losing the original Shiv Sena losing their symbol and this becoming the original. I won't be surprised if tomorrow NCP, if Sharad Pawar loses the symbol and it goes to Ajit Pawar, because now we have the entire the main people, the main of them, all of them in the new NCP or whatever you might want to call them.
Okay.
So there has to be there has.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. See, I loved one speaker in your channel a little while back. I heard a little bit of that. That in this kind of politics, where the ruling party who's at the helm of power, when they open the doors to everyone who would want to get away from the from the cusp of whatever they have, whatever wrongdoing, corruption they have done in the past. If there is an easy route to that, you tell me what are they losing? I don't want to name them, but all
Babul,
these
tell me one thing. While you
ones
say
who have
and
got
while
the
you
mighty,
present,
just one line, one line.
Yeah.
One line. I'm saying the ones who actually got the biggest of posts are the ones who were being chased by ED and CBI, and it was said, there were murmurs that two of the most important parties of NCP had actually told Sharad Pawar that the only way to stay away from all of this jhamela is to join the BJP. We are aware of that, right? So I don't see any surprise. It's just a surprise that it happened so smoothly, and there don't seem to be any opposition from the other side, not much.
So while you say that, Babul, I also want to understand that isn't it going to actually come to biting the NCP or even the alliance partners like the faction of the Shiv Sena and the Congress, who are saying that this washing machine charge, the fact that you agree that there were corruption-ridden ministers within the NCP, ranking, and they have now jumped ship to the BJP, and now they have come clean because they have been, washed in the BJP washing machine. Should that also not bite you the other way around, considering they were corrupt ministers, that you were holding corrupt leaders you were holding into your party rank?
Well, it's not about having people in politics who may have indulged in corruption. It's about the single-mindedness with which BJP has resorted into the game of getting getting the opposition leaders under the scanner of the CBI and ED, in the bargain completely making those two national agencies lose their credibility. And it is not a perception, it's a belief now that if you want to save yourself, if you have committed grave crimes, or if you are into corruption, get into that washing machine. What did that washing machine term come into place? Look, I left BJP because I just felt that they are a Bengali hating party. They are not someone who's going to let a Bengali rise the ranks in its own right. So I was backstabbed. And if you see that the same has happened to Devendra Fadnavis. Where is he standing right now? Things have just been put on his head. Just because the opportunists came in, and the BJP needed them to be in power. Otherwise, give me a logic how Eknath Shinde would come to BJP as an outsider and can actually overtake Devendra Fadnavis to become the chief minister. It's the urge to be in power, and that's exactly why Devendra Fadnavis will be asked to sit quiet at the side, because these people will ensure that the opposition is smaller. But as I said, with this kind of traitors around, the people will ultimately decide, and what they see as a demolished or a demoralized opposition could actually, the opposition could actually become the voters of the country who would vote against this divisive and this inclusive politics of getting all the corrupt people together just to remain in power.
Okay, two questions, final questions for you, Babul. Yeah. But I'd like to understand, this is an interesting point that you've made, but do you think speculations are also rife now that you have got two rebels inducted into the party fold as far as the alliance of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Shinde faction, now the NCP group that's been led by Ajit Pawar is concerned? There is a speculation that now that Ajit Pawar has been given the second deputy, chief minister's post, Shinde also is going to be joining the ranks, and he'd be made the second deputy chief minister, and Mr. Fadnavis will be given the charge of the Maharashtra chief minister. How do you actually react to these speculations?
I don't, there is no point for any of us, you and me or anyone in that matter, any cephalogist who may be studying Indian politics over the period of time, to make or to, pay heed to any speculation. Let's understand that anything that you speculate today, I have had 1,000 bad dreams. Very few actually happens is something that Napoleon Bonaparte had said. Today I have had 1,000 bad dreams. All of them have actually happened. That's what is happening in politics. So
Okay,
I hope these bad dreams come back to haunt BJP and the public actually see the party that is, getting all the corrupt parties together and then keeping the national agencies away from them.
One of the questions, one final question to you, Babul. One of the questions that I asked you was about the future of the NDA. I'd like to understand that just a short while back, Sharad Pawar, in fact, in a show of strength, had decided to step down as the party supremo. And we'd seen the kind of churning that he'd, got the people to witness in Maharashtra, also Ajit Pawar. Probably it was a show of strength for his very nephew. What happened to that show of strength today, now that 30 MLAs have joined the ranks of the BJP and Shinde alliance along with Ajit Pawar?
Well, once again, Griha is going to be very hard to read Sharad Pawarji's mind. He's one of the most astute politicians of the country. What exactly he's thinking and how he wants to handle this situation is something that you're going to know in the next few hours, probably in the next few days. I don't think that if he has any cards, any aces in his hand, he's going to show them so soon. But I think that this kind of blatant act of I would say misdemeanor by BJP will not demoralize the opposition. Rather, it will give them more strength to fight against something which is so blatantly makes politics a dirty game. Right. It has always been so. But now it is getting very, very murky. So I think the opposition will actually get not demoralized, but excited with what the kind of things that BJP is doing. It will make they are becoming an anti-people party, and the voters might actually vote against them. We'll just see that.
All right, Babul Supriyo, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your views that you've shared on the broadcast. Thank you so much for being